Hey everybody, welcome to Board Online, Board Offline. Today we have another video from another channel. This time we've got to play or not to play. This is a husband and wife team that has a heavy focus on their channel for two-player games. They assess all the games they play as two-player games and let you know what they think. Be sure to go check them out. There's a link in the description below so that you can get it over to their actual YouTube channel. And now enjoy to play or not to play.
Hi, I'm Tim.
I'm Lizzie.
And this is To Play
Or Not.
To Play, a show about board games for two players.
Whose tastes may differ.
Today we're taking a look at Lost Cities. This is specifically a two-player game by Cosmos Games. And it's actually a card game, in fact.
The original
card game, as it says
Don't
here
you know?
in the tag. So this one is based on the fact that you're off adventuring around the world trying to find lost civilizations and artifacts and stuff like that. So the basic premise of the game is a set collection, kind of hand management type of thing, and a bit of a push your luck in there as well. So there's a little board, and the board kind of acts as a base for your discard cards, really, and it also allows you to line up your sets as you start collecting them against them. You sit opposite each other and you just play head to head. So the idea is that you're collecting in your hand and on the deck sets of cards, colours that are matching and in ascending order of numbers. The way it works is you get dealt 8 cards each, and then the oldest player, so always me, pretty much, starts.
Very old.
Yeah, I am very old. Like Methuselah. Anyway, so not quite that old, but yeah. So you get 8 cards each, and the way you play is you play a card down either into the discard piles, you know, matching the colour that you've got, or in your array that you're building for a set, and then you draw back up either from the discard pile or from the main deck, and that goes on. Each player takes their turn, laying a card down, drawing back up to 8, lay a card down, draw back up to 8. And the way the game plays is that you're trying to build your sets starting from 2 all the way up to 10, and the more cards you have in your set, the more points you get. So you get a point for every card number. So card number 2 would get you 2 points, card number 3 would get you 3 points, and so on. Now each time you start an expedition, as it's called, laying
this
down.
Is a bit that confused
It is
me.
a little bit weird. It's clever though, but it's hard to understand. First of all, each time you start an expedition by laying a card against that colour, that immediately gives you minus 20 points for that expedition. So any expedition that's started, minus 20 points. So then you're trying to kind of get more than 20 points to get you to 0 and then build up upon that. So for instance, if you lay down enough cards that you've got 19, when the game ends, that will be minus 1 point. So your minus 20 is whittled away to minus 1. If you get 25, then that would score 5 points. Now, I don't know why they've done that. That's just the way that the scoring works. There's a way of kind of multiplying your score as well, which is there's a thing called a handshake, which is in the theme of the game. It's somebody investing in your expedition. They're trying to back you in your expedition, and you're going to be successful. So it's just a little.
It's a wager, isn't it? As well?
Yeah, a wager. I think they call it a wager. In fact, yeah. So it's a little card with a handshake on it. It's not got a number on it, and if you lay that, in fact, you can only lay it first. That times 2 your score. And if you lay 2 of those handshakes, it times 3 your score. If you lay 3 of those handshakes, times 4 your score.
Which could be a negative.
Yes, it could be.
It could be a bad decision.
It multiplies the score on that column, regardless of whether it's a positive or negative. Exactly. Yeah. So you have to be quite clever. This is the push your luck aspect of the game, I guess. So the minute you start laying a colour, you kind of want to get at least 21 points that you're scoring a positive. So you've got to be pretty sure that you're going to score quite highly. That's the general.
Risk it.
Yeah, you risk it. That's the general kind of rule of the game, or the target of the game. Really, is that you're gambling on getting those cards into your hand. So
it's like a deal or no deal type game where you've got a 7 and you think, should I put it down now, or should I
Well,
wait to get a 4 and a 5 and a 6 first?
This is another aspect, yeah, of course. So when you lay the cards, you can only lay them on top of a card lower value.
Yeah.
So, for instance, if you lay a 4 and then you pick up from the deck a 3, you can't lay that 3 because you just laid the 4. Oh, very annoying. Happens all the time.
Yes.
So you then really want to get rid of that card and try and get a 5, say. But there are 6 different colours for you to collect, and they all come out in different orders because it's obviously a shuffled deck.
And we're sharing the 2
You
to 10 as
share
well.
the deck, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you share the deck and you share the cards.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. If I've laid a 5 and Bear picks up a 4, she can lay the 4 because
She's
got her own sort of
Next
score going on. Yeah,
but
exactly.
I know you've already put 5 down, so I can ignore the 5 then and start getting
Yeah,
the
she
6.
can. It's a very complicated setup in a
Yes,
way.
it sounds complicated when you read the rules out.
Exactly.
When you start playing,
Very simple.
It's more simple.
It's a very quick game, in fact. You know, whilst the other player is drawing, so they lay their card and then draw back up to 8. Whilst they're doing that, you're already playing your card. You kind of got to rein yourself in a little bit so you don't play your card whilst the other person's still drawing back up and figuring out what's going on, because you kind of will miss what the other person's just done. So that's the way the game goes. You know, you lay a card higher than the one that you've previously laid on that colour, and you keep going. If you want to discard, you discard it into the middle onto the board, and then the other person can pick up from that discard pile as well if they want to. Only one card at a time.
You don't have to start all 5.
No, and that is the trick, in
either,
fact.
do you?
Yeah, even if, let's say, for instance, you've got 4 blue cards in your hand and 3 red cards and a white card. You could start the blue, you could start the white. You don't have to start the red, even if you've got it in your hand. In fact, you could discard those along the game and not go in them at all. And that is a bit of a trick. If you don't start a column, if you don't start a colour in that expedition, you don't score that minus 20 points for that colour. In fact, if you don't start that colour.
So it's just your push your luck angle.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
So, for instance, if you start all of the colours, they're all minus 20 points straight away, and whether you get those targets that you want to beat or not, they all start at minus 20. So if you leave one blank, it doesn't score anything. It's literally just 0.
I tend to do that. You tend to just go for all 5 with all your handshakes too, don't you?
Yeah, I try my best, but it's but I forfeit. I mean, you beat me on the last game by a pile, actually. So yeah, it's once you played a few games through, you'll realise kind of your way that you play and your tactics. But the point is, because it's a completely random deck draw, your tactics aren't ever kind of in a that's definitely going to win me the game or whatever. So great little game, great strategies. Not much interaction really, although there is, in as much as you've got to watch each other's.
Yeah.
You know what they're
Keep an eye on
playing.
each other,
Yeah, so that you can see, you know, if you're waiting for a 7s because you want to play your 8, 9, 10, but the other person's already played their 7, then there's no point in waiting for it, obviously. So you've got to keep an eye out what they're
It's quite
playing.
easy to do that as well. You can just glance at the colours and see, oh, you
Yeah.
can put a 7 down there.
Very easy to play, very straightforward, very quick. So it lasts 30 minutes, it says. The way that it plays, I can't remember what it actually says in the book, but I think it's you play like a best of 3 or a best of 5 or best of 7, something like that. It doesn't have to be an odd number, because the scores are so kind of far apart. You know, the first game you might score minus 15 at the end, or somebody might score plus 30. So it's, you know, it's that far apart.
If the scoring also confuses you, like, oh, I'm not sure I can work out all those scores, there is an app that helps you top the scores up.
There's an app. Well, there's quite a few apps probably, but we downloaded an app, and basically all you do is you put in the numbers that you've scored. So white, I scored 2, 5, 6, 8, 9. And then it scores that against the minus 24. You don't have to do all the figuring out if you've got a little handshake times by X. So yeah.
And it keeps the scores for the 3 rounds.
That's right. Thoroughly recommend. Yeah, thoroughly recommend getting an app for
easier.
sure. Yeah, it's a bit of a mass nightmare otherwise, unless you like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Theme, because you love theme in games.
Yeah, I didn't feel a theme.
Not
the
really.
cards look nice.
It's very.
Not need to have much time to look at them. I didn't really spend a lot of time.
No, I specifically took a sort of time out in one of my goes to look, but you really, I mean, in fact, it wasn't until about 4 games in I realised the blue cards were an underwater. You know, you're trying to find type of Atlantis
the cards
sort of place.
Pretty.
They're well done, well
yeah,
drawn and
done,
stuff.
But I didn't feel like I was an archaeologist.
No, I mean, you could you could almost play this with a deck of cards.
Yeah.
But obviously in a deck of cards you have 4 suits and no handshakes, whereas this is 6 suits and some handshakes, which are the
It's a nice
the
addition, the theme. It's nice to...
Yeah, it's nice to have it, obviously, because you wouldn't want to just use it as a bland sort of theme. But
that doesn't make the game.
But it doesn't make the game at all, no.
Yeah.
So yeah, good little game.
Yeah, I like it.
Very, very nice. Quite compact as well. You could play it without the board, I guess. So you could just take the deck of cards in a bag.
Oh, it is nice. It is nice.
It's nice. Yeah, it's nice to have it. But I'm saying if you say you wanted to go on holiday with it, and just chuck it in your handbag, rather than take this box.
It's true.
You know.
Your handbag. Your man bag.
Oh no, your handbag. So yeah, good game.
Okay.
I like it a lot.
Scores?
Shall I go first?
Yeah.
I think I'll give it a 6.5.
Okay, it's good.
Yeah.
It's a good solid game.
It's a good game, yeah. I like it.
Not amazing.
It's not stunning.
Good fun.
Good fun. Like, yeah, it's nice filler.
Yeah.
Nice filler.
I think I'm at a 6, which is still good.
Yeah, still good. Still good.
Still good.
That's a Simpsons quote, by the way.
Yeah.
Still good. Still good. Put in the comments below if you know where from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easier to pick up once you start playing versus reading the rules out again. The rules sound worse than the actual gameplay.
Yeah, once you've got it, you've got it.
And it's enjoyable. I liked playing it. I'd play it again.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and again, it's the sort of game, because it's a quick little game, and you're sort of doing that best of. You can say, let's do the best of 7 or the best of 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
You can just keep going.
Losing.
Yeah.
Another round.
Yeah, you can just keep going. So yeah, it's a nice little game. Good game. Well done.
I take it to my family to play as well because it's.
Yeah, because it's quite a simple thing. It
if people
very
just
much
like
if you
Monopoly or party games.
Well, the fact that if they've played Gin Rummy or Rummy,
Yeah.
it's very easy to explain. That's what you're doing in a way. The only difference really is that you're kind of not really collecting it in your hand. You're collecting it in your hand and on the deck sort of thing. So it's multiple sort of areas, I guess. But apart from that, pretty straightforward. Good stuff. Good. Well, there you go. So 12 and a half.
12 and a half.
That's pretty good. Anything over a 10 is a good game to buy, really,
so
pretty much. So we recommend it for you to check it out. Yeah. Hopefully you will like this game.
We do.
Give it a quick run. And one thing we were thinking, if you want us to do any particular game in the future, quick run through, please just put a comment in the comments below, and we'll try and pick up on that and do a game that you specifically asked for. What I might do actually is put a link to our collection. So we've got our collection on Board Game Geek, so we could
really big collection.
It's not that big, but we could we can stick our link to that collection on in the comments, and people can go and have a look and say, oh, there's a game you've got, I'd like you to play, can you do it for me? Have a comment. Okay, brilliant. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks very much.